It's Larry again. It's time for another plein air paint and draw. It's a lovely spring morning and we're at Los Encinos State Park, and right over my shoulder there's an antique building. That's going to be my art target for today. So why don't you come along? Let's do it. Yeah. Okay, let's get started. This video is going to be a short one, and I'm going to focus today mainly on, as the title says, mixing for results, mixing colors for results. And let's get right into it. So the colors that I used, my main colors were a titanium white, turquoise, cerulean blue as an option, cadmium red medium, and bright yellow. I also made use of Golden Brand gloss glazing liquid. Now, in addition to those main colors, I mixed combinations of secondary colors. And those colors are turquoise and red to get violet, yellow and red to get an orange, yellow and white to get an orange sandy white, turquoise and white to get my sky color, blue and yellow to get a green, turquoise and yellow to get a variation of green, red, blue, turquoise, yellow mixed together to get a black. Now, as far as tertiary colors, I use that violet color plus yellow and red to get an umber or dark brown color. I use my yellow and white sandy color mixed with an orange and white to get more of a sandy color, a brighter sandy color. The blue and yellow, the turquoise and yellow that I made a green, added more yellow to get variations of light green. Now the brushes I used, 4 brushes. I used a number 5 filbert, sometimes known as a cat tongue brush because of its shape. I used a number 4 filbert, different size filbert, only so that I could use the 2 filbert brushes, one for the warm colors and one for the cool colors. I also used a number 1 rigger brush, sometimes called a liner brush, for very fine lines. And I used a small number 2 round brush also for some details. So those are the materials that I used and the brushes. Now I also worked from back to front, from the distance to the front of the painting, or the foreground. So the sky and the building itself, and then some of the basic shapes of the trees, working on some of the different greens and yellows. There was a lot of bright sunlight on the back, and I had shade on the front of the building and light being on the front, on the side of the building with the doors. I added in a little picket fence that was in the back, and I also used some of my gray. Well, I made black, then I grayed it with some titanium white, and I added that on top of the green bushes in the background. And that gives me some atmospheric perspective. I added the rest of the details of the broken fencing that's in the front. Now, after getting the main shapes painted in, I worked on a little bit of the details. There were some obvious bricks near the bottom of the building, so I painted in the shadows that were there. They had the same color. And then some of the detail of the construction material, the bricks that were in there, the limestone bricks, I made variations of my sandy color with white and dark sandy color, mixing them in. I also used my medium, my glazing gloss medium, and I mixed that with my black. And as I touched my brush to it, I was able to lay in a very thin layer of black on the side of the building to show some line or shadow texture. And while it was still wet with the medium, I was able to just kind of shape it with my brush. So I could shape that there was a suggestion of brickwork and lines. It was very fun thing to do. I also used some of the glazing medium for the sky near the edge of the building, and some of the glazing medium in green for some of the shrubbery and bushes. I also mixed a green with a lot of my dark black that I mixed in, and a little bit extra of red for some of the branches and leaves that you see over the top, kind of framing the picture. So that was my art target. That was my project. I hope this is helpful with some explanation of the colors and techniques that I used. Thanks. Have a great day. Keep on painting and drawing. God bless. Bye-bye.